Kia ora, year 11 and 12. Here's question 1D from this year's calculus paper. So this is quite a cool question if you can think in general terms about what a quadratic is. You're given 3 bullet points and you have to use calculus to figure out which function has got these properties. So let's first of all take a look at the properties. Well, the first thing to make sure you've read clearly is that we're talking about a quadratic, and that makes our lives much easier. Then we're told that when x is 0, the gradient is 7, and that there's a turning point when x is 1. So that's got to be either a min or a max, and that means that the gradient must be 0 at x equals 1. And then we've got a value of the function of negative 20 when x is equal to 4. So here's how I did it. I just started by saying, well, what's the most general form of a quadratic? And it's ax squared plus bx plus c. Now we turn each of these into an equation and we solve them. And we're probably going to end up using some little simultaneous equations along the way. So the first thing to do, especially because I'm sitting in a calculus exam, possibly feeling like I don't know what's going on, is to write 2ax plus b. That's my gradient function. And now we know that when x equals 0, the gradient is 7. So substituting 0 in here gives me 2a times 0 plus b. Is that right? I think that's right. And that equals 7. So f dash of 0 is 7, and that gives me b straight away. So that's good. We can put that into our function and keep on going. So f of x is equal to ax squared plus 7x plus c. Now, we know that there's a turning point when x equals 1. So f dash of 1 is equal to 0. Going back up, sorry about all the going back and forwards, this is my gradient function. So it's 2ax plus 7. Right, because we've found b. So f dash of x is 2ax plus 7. And so f dash of 1 is equal to 2a plus 7. And we know that that has to equal 0. So what must a be? Well, 2a equals negative 7. So a equals negative 3.5. Now the last thing we've got to do is figure out the y-intercept on the function, which is the plus c. And we do that by using the last point, which is that when x is 4, the function has a value of negative 20. So let's put everything we've got together so far. F of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, so negative 3.5x squared plus 7x plus c, and we know that f of 4 is equal to negative 20. So negative 20 is equal to negative 3.5 times 4 squared, which is 16, plus 7 fours, 28, plus c. That gives me negative 48 is equal to, now what's this? 3.5 lots of 16. What does that give me? Let's think 56. So negative 56 plus c, giving me c is equal to negative 48 plus 56, which is 8, right? You don't need to write all that line out. I'm just doing that in case you want to see all of the working. So my final answer is that this is the function. So f of x is equal to negative 3.5 x squared plus 7x plus 8. And you can chuck that into your graphics calculator or GeoGebra and have a look at it and satisfy yourselves that those 3 bullet points all work with that function.